Hey, I thought I'd talk some more about methodology and give some recommendations. I think a lot of people. Oh, wait, my blue glass bottle and my blue hydrangeas. I had to just stop and call attention. Trying to have those in these videos while I can before hydrangea season is over. Thought I'd talk more about methodology recommendations because a lot of people who are beginning homeschoolers, that's what they want. That's the information. They're like, okay, I don't need all this background and why to do this. I just want to have recommendations on what curriculum to choose. Curricula? I think that's right. So I thought I'd get into that today and just throw out the stuff because I've been doing this 20 years, 21. So I have some experience. So I thought I'd share that. And that's, I think, what most people want the most of. But I still think this process is sound, and maybe not for someone who is brand new because you just are overwhelmed by how much there is to choose. And if you're switching out from public schools, if you've been doing that, and you're moving your children into homeschooling because of the pandemic or because of bullying. I was reading HSLDA, which I will talk about later, that's on the list, has been doing a series of articles about, in response to a Harvard law professor who was really against homeschooling. And they confirmed something. Back in the day, most homeschoolers did it for religious reasons. They were Christians and wanted to raise their children according to their beliefs, their values. I think that, and I could see that. Those are the ones I knew. And over the last, I would say 10 years, as I've gone to homeschool conferences, you just kind of see a shift. And I don't see that so much anymore. I feel like people's reasons have changed. You see it more academics, parents who feel like their children aren't being challenged, and especially if their children are really gifted, they feel like my child could be doing so much more. Or if they have a special needs child, they don't feel like that child is really receiving the best that they could get, and they feel like they can do it better at home, which I absolutely support. There are so many things. I think it was in that last HSLDA article, which I would link in the show notes, which I hear podcasters do, but I have no idea how. That's talked about how studies show it's the relationship a lot of times between the mother and the child that makes such a difference. Despite education of the parents, they are putting their best effort into their child because they love them and want the best, and so they're going to go above and beyond, and they know the child. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off into that. But I was talking about the shift of people homeschooling. So I see it more for academic reasons, and a lot of the bullying that's going on, safety issues, I'm seeing that a whole lot more. And that was actually, I told someone that. I'm like, that's what I see now. And then HSLDA confirmed that, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So whatever your reason is, I figure there's a lot of people who are starting, or the pandemic. They just don't want their child to have to deal with masks all day, or they don't know if their school system's going to do something, so they're looking to homeschool. And I commend you for your efforts there. Well done. You can do it. You really can. So I'm making this little section on recommendations of curricula for different subjects for that kind of person who just wants to get started and not work through all this and come back. I would say come back to this and work through it so that you don't have all the doubts and second guessing. I really think it's valuable, or I wouldn't be making it. But for now, let's try and get you started with some recommendations, and there's so many out there. But I'll give mine. Anyway, I'll start that on the next video. This was all backstory. I apologize, but I love backstory.